Good afternoon. Welcome to our third session and final session of our seated exercise class. I'm just going to wait a few seconds here because I can see a couple people still trying to log in. So we'll just give it a couple seconds here before we get started. Okay. Great. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for our third and final class of our seated exercise series. It's gone by really quick, but I hope you enjoyed our classes. So before we start today, I'm going to go over a couple of housekeeping items, just because I know there's a few new folks today joining us, even though it's our final class. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Shelly, and I am a Neuro Physiotherapist here at Parkinson Society BC. And for today's class, because it is a fully seated class, we're not going to be doing any standing, and you're going to be sitting down the entire time, as the name implies. And all of our exercise classes are recorded, so if you did want to revisit the class at a later date, you can do so on our YouTube channel. If you're not sure where to find that, you can always send us an email or give us a call and we can direct you to the right link. Hopefully you should see a chat box open on your right-hand side of the screen. If you don't see a chat box open, it might be in a collapsed icon at the bottom of your screen or the side of your screen, and it should look like a little chat box, a little text box. So if you click on that, it should open up the chat box, and you'll see at the very top of the chat box, I put a link, and that link is for our future upcoming events and webinars. So if you like the exercise series that we're doing now and you wanted to sign up for future ones, you can always click on that link and have a look at some of our listings. And the chat box is also how you're going to communicate with me today. If you have any questions, you can feel free to type in that chat box and I will do my best to answer those questions. And of course, during the class, I'm going to be moving with you, so I won't be able to see the questions, but I will get to them at the end of the class. If you do experience any technical difficulty, such as the screen freezing or the audio lagging, it could either be an internet issue or a browser issue. So what you can try to do is you can refresh the page of the browser you're currently on to get onto this platform, just because sometimes when we have a lot of traffic on the webinar page, it can sometimes lag for a couple of people. So usually refreshing the screen works great. Okay, so that's the boring stuff. We're now going to get on to our exercise class. So during our exercise class today, even though it is a fully seated class, you will find that some exercises will feel a bit challenging. And so for today's class, I want you to just do your best, have some fun, and it's okay if you need a break. You can absolutely take a break and then get right back into it if you can. Of course, listen to your body, do it at a pace that works for you. So if anything I'm doing today feels a little too fast, that's okay. Slow it down as long as you keep moving, because the most important thing that we're doing today is you want to just get your body moving, enjoy the movement, and don't take ourselves too seriously in the exercise class. That way you can all have fun and there's no stress. Great, okay. So I'm going to move back. I'm just going to pull up my timer here on my computer so that way I can see that as we're going along in our class today. Okay, hopefully you have all found the chat box and you can hear me and see me okay. So I'm moving back to my chair here. Hopefully you can see me. I know the windows behind me are a little bit bright. I've shut the blinds as much as I can, but anyway, can't control the sun. So hopefully you can see me okay. You're going to start by shuffling to the very front of your chair. So I don't want to see anybody leaning back into the chair like this or off to the side of the armrest. you want to make sure you're sitting nice and tall on those sit bones at the front of the chair in order to free up our hips and pelvis to be able to do our exercise class today. We're going to start with our warm-up, so just follow along. We're going to start by marching on the spot, lifting those knees nice and high, swinging those arms. Now, as we're doing our marching on the spot warm-up, you'll notice that my arms are swinging not just forward, but also backward, right? So we don't want to see the arms just go forward like this, but you want them to go backward as well. So you want to make sure both of those arms are swinging the entire time. Lifting up those knees nice and high if you can. And we're going to think about elongating the spine and sitting up nice and tall. Because sometimes when we move our arms and legs, especially the legs, it feels like we need to slouch right away. So I want you to really fight that and see if you can sit up nice and tall over your sit bones, maintain your height while lifting up those knees nice and high. Lovely. Keep going. Keep swinging those arms, nice and tall spine, lifting up those knees, nice and high. Good. We're going to go 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, nice and tall. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. Now we're going to step one leg forward, reach the opposite arm forward. The other arm reaches back behind you. Come back in. Same thing, other side. So you're reaching the opposite arm 2 legs forward. The other arm goes back behind you, and you're rotating your torso a little bit to the side as you're doing this movement. So a little bit of rotation, a little bit of a stretch here, trying to get our bodies moving. So see how far you can reach those arms. Really open up that palm, open up those fingertips. Reach across the room, not just forward, but backward as well. Reaching as far as you can, stepping that leg forward. Opposite arm, 2 leg reaching. Remember, if anything feels too fast, that's okay, slow it down. Good, well done. Let's do 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're going to float those arms up this time. We're going to step out and then bring the leg in and bring the arms in. Then to the other side. Step out, then you bring the leg in. So you're kind of going from corner to corner. Out, in, out, in. So the arms and legs open together and close together. And you're essentially sort of pivoting on your chair, and you're going from corner to corner or diagonal to diagonal. So make sure we're not just like this, right? We don't want to just be facing the front, barely moving. We want to really open that leg up and then bring the other leg in. Open the leg up, bring the other leg in. So you're pivoting on your seat because we have some pivoting type movements today. So we want to really warm up our abdominals to be able to help us do this. So remember, if this feels too fast, don't worry, slow it down. You're going to try to sit up nice and tall as you're doing this opening and closing movement. Remember to pivot on your sit bones in order to turn your hips from diagonal to diagonal. Imagine balancing a book on your head. You want to keep your height. Make sure we're not getting shorter as we're doing this movement, spine nice and long. Let's go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. And come back to the middle, drop the arms. We're going to go back to our marching now. We're going to go back to lifting up those knees nice and high, swinging those arms, not just forward, but also back behind you. Sitting up nice and tall, making sure we're not getting shorter as we're lifting up those legs. We're going to keep this marching pattern going, except this time, as we're marching, we're going to go heel, heel, back, back. So you're going to tap your heels forward and come back. Heel, heel, back, back. Switch legs. Heel, heel, oops, back, back. Heel, heel, back, back. Sitting up nice and tall as we're doing this. And you want to really make sure, imagining you've got something balancing on your head so your spine is nice and long. I don't want to see anybody do this. You want to make sure the movement's nice and tall, nice and big with those arm swings. Well done. You're alternating the legs. The arms will feel a little bit strange, but bear with it. You're thinking opposite arm to the leg. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. And rest those legs, swinging those arms up and around, backwards in a circle, sitting up nice and tall. Now, as you're swinging the arms here, if your shoulders feel a little bit funny when you lift your arms up, that's okay. You don't have to go all the way up. If you want, you can do a slightly smaller circle or a lower circle, up to you. But I want you to try to make the circle as big as you feel you're able. Swing those arms back, keeping the elbows relatively straight if you can. And then now we're going to make the circle smaller and smaller. With each circle, they're going to get smaller and smaller and smaller until you're doing a very small, quick circle on the spot for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Other way, going forward with those circles. Nice and big to start with. Remember, if your shoulders don't feel so good in this, that's okay. Lower the circle, make the circle a little bit smaller, but keep going here, circling those arms. And then with every circle, we're going to make it smaller and smaller and smaller until we're doing a small, quick circle on the spot for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop. We're going to open those arms out to the side, keeping yourself nice and tall over your sit bones. You're going to lean down to the side. So your arms are reaching on a diagonal and the top of your head is going on a diagonal. So you should feel a stretch on the outside of your body, and noticing here my chest is still forward. I'm not turning it down. So you want to keep your chest open, reach those arms in opposite directions. Hold it for a few seconds here. And then we come back, drop the arms for a second. We're going to go right back into it, lifting those arms back up to that T shape, tipping over to the sides. You're reaching those arms on that diagonal again, making sure the chest is forward and we're not turning down to the floor. Keep that chest up, reaching. Feel that stretch on the side of your body. And then we're going to come back up and rest those arms for a second. Okay. This time, we're going to bring our hands into prayer, into our chest, elbows up nice and high, shoulders away from the ears. From here, planting your feet firmly on the floor, we're going to rotate our breastbone to the side such that you're rotating your spine on the spot, kind of like you're wringing out a towel. if your spine was a towel. You're rotating to the side, feeling that stretch in your back, holding it here. And then we come back to the middle. Same thing, other side. Rotating over to the side, shoulders away from the ears if you can. Feet planted firmly into the floor. We're still nice and tall. And then we come back to the front, dropping these arms. This time, we're going to go forward, forward, back, back with those legs. Forward, forward, back, back. Forward, forward, back, back. So you'll notice here, as I'm doing the forward and back movement, I'm switching legs. So if I start with the right leg the first time, I'm going to start with the left leg the next time. If that's messing you up a little bit, don't worry. Stay with the same leg going forward and back. We're going to add the arms, pushing the arms forward as you go forward, pulling the arms back as you step back. Again, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, and back. Good. So nice and tall in our seat. We want to make sure we're not slouching in our chairs as we're doing this movement. Fingers spread nice and wide as you push your arms forward. And rest. Okay, so we're going to do our circuit exercises now. So we're 5 exercises, 2 minutes each exercise, and we're going to do 2 rounds of these exercises. I can see here there's a little note that just came up that said my internet might be lagging, so I'm not sure whether you can all still hear me. Hopefully you can. My internet says it's working, but for some reason, oh, no, I'm back. Okay, I am back. Okay, so our exercises, we're going to do 2 minutes each exercise, 5 exercises, 2 rounds in total. So our first exercise, we're going to sit forward in our chair, bring our legs nice and wide, and then we're going to take our arms, clasp them together, straighten the elbows, and then we're going to reach those fists down to the outside of one of our ankles. Doesn't matter which one, because we'll do both. But you're reaching them down to the outside of one of your ankles, and then from there, you're going to pull your arms up in a diagonal. And then you're going to come back down. So you're pulling upward on a diagonal, kind of like you're drawing a diagonal line across the space in front of you, like that. So we're going to do the same side for 1 minute, and then we're going to do the other side for a minute. Now, different options here. You can either stay at this level here, where you plant both of your feet firmly on the floor and you draw those fists up in a diagonal. Or if you like more of a challenge, as you pull those arms up, you can reach that leg. So the leg that you were just touching, you can reach it outward as you straighten those arms. Notice how it's off the floor. So I got to balance a little bit more on one side of my hip. And then I come back down. Same thing. Reaching up on a diagonal, and while reaching that leg away from you. So essentially you're forming a diagonal line with your body like that, okay? So if you want, you can do the second version here where you're lifting that leg off the floor, or you can keep that leg on the floor and you just go up with the arms, okay? So we'll do 1 minute, one side, and then I'll tell you to switch, and we'll do 1 minute the other side, which is the same thing with the leg up as well. Okay, just follow along, and if you need a rest, that's okay. Take a rest and just get right back into it if you can. Okay, are we ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. So I'm doing the second version here in case anybody wants to follow along. If you don't want to lift the leg, you can just do the arm part of this exercise, still making sure you're really reaching down to one ankle and then pulling up away on a diagonal. So emphasis on the diagonal. We're not just going down and up in the middle, but you're going on that diagonal position. Well done, everybody. See if you can hold your balance at the top of the diagonal for just a second or two if you are doing the second version where your leg comes off the floor. Try to make sure we're not slouching in our chair here. We want to sit nice and tall over our sit bones. 5 seconds left on this side. And we switch sides, other side, toward the other ankle this time. And pulling up on a diagonal, making sure you're really reaching, keeping those elbows straight if you can, sitting tall on those sit bones, making sure we're not slouching back in the chair, pulling upward as sharply as you can. Well done, everybody. You got 30 seconds left. Really use this opportunity to stretch your arm and leg in opposite directions. And practicing a bit of that balance as well if you are doing the leg off the floor version. Well done, everybody. You got 10 seconds left. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Okay. Next exercise, we're going to start with the feet about hip width apart. Hands in prayer, elbows out to the side, shoulders away from the ears. Sitting up nice and tall. From here, hands together, we're going to take our leg and we're going to step out to the side and open those arms to the side. Now, notice here when I step out to the side, my hips are also turning to the side my leg is going towards. So remember the pivots we were practicing in the warm-up? This is where we're going to use it. Okay, so hands together, stepping out to the side. You're going to turn your hips to the side that you're stepping towards. Same with your breastbone, facing the side. The leg that was not moving stays on the spot pointing forward. And then you come back in. Same thing, other side. Stepping out, open. Noticing this leg. So look at this leg for a second. You can see as I step out, the other leg stays where it is. It doesn't move. For the rest of my body moves out to the side, reaching those arms out to the side, open that chest, and come back in. So this is where we're practicing that pivot in our chair. Really trying to hold your balance, sitting nice and tall. Make sure you're not leaning back into the chair as we're doing this. Okay, should we try? 2 minutes. Get in your positions, ready, 3, 2, 1, and go. Sitting up nice and tall. Make sure when you're lifting your leg to move, you lift it nice and high off the floor. Try not to drag it along the floor, but you want to lift it off the floor, reaching those arms out and make sure they come back in to that prayer position. If this is too fast, don't worry, slow it down. It does not have to be the same speed I'm doing, as long as your technique is good. So as long as you're trying to pivot in your chair, get your hips to face the direction of your travel, and you're reaching those arms out nice and long. Well done, everybody. Sitting up nice and tall. Imagine you still got that book balancing on your head, so we're not letting ourselves get shorter in the chair. Shoulders away from the ears as you're moving the arms. You got less than a minute left. You got about 50 seconds. Are we still breathing? Well done, everybody. Keep it going. If you need a break, you can take a break, but try to get right back into it if you can. Doing really well. You've got 30 seconds left. Keep pivoting in your seats, turning your hips to the side, opening those arms nice and wide, bringing them back to prayer every time. Well done, well done. You got 10 seconds, almost there, sitting up nice and tall. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, our next one here, still sitting up nice and tall, we're gonna bring our arms into our chest in fists. So let me come forward so you can see the arms like this. Hands and fists by your armpits, and what you're gonna do here is you're going to push those arms forward and straighten those fingers. Open that palm as wide as you can, and then you're going to grab and pull back. So really imagine that push and that pull feeling with the arms, okay? So that's what you're doing with the arms. And then with the legs here, as you push your arms forward, you're going to straighten one of your legs and show me the bottom of your foot, and then you're going to pull and push it back in. Same thing, other side. Push those arms, straighten that leg, show me the bottom of your foot, and then come back in. Noticing here my height stays the same as I do the movement. So what I want to avoid is doing this. Right? So I don't want to get low every time I reach my legs out. I want to make sure my spine is nice and tall as I'm doing this push-pull movement. Okay, are we ready? 2 minutes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. So remember, when you push your arms and push that leg out, you're going to hold it for just a second or two, and then you're going to pull everything back in nice and forcefully if you can. Nice and sharp with the movement. So pushing and kicking that leg out in front, and then pulling everything back in nice and effortful. Really imagine there's a weight in front of you that you're pushing away and then pulling back in. Well done, everybody. Check in with yourself and see how tall you're sitting. Hopefully our spine is nice and long and we're not getting shorter with every kick. Good, well done. If you're having a difficult time moving those hips, moving those legs, you probably need to sit forward a little bit more in the chair if you feel like the chair is restricting your movement. Well done, everyone. You got 1 minute left. Show me the bottom of your foot, and then pull everything back nice and forceful with the push and the pull. 45 seconds. Hopefully we're all still breathing. Don't forget to breathe as you're doing these exercises. Well done. You got 30 seconds left. Keep pushing and pulling as sharply as you can. Make sure to hold that position for a few seconds when you're straightening that leg before pulling it back. Spine nice and long. 15 seconds left. Almost there. Well done. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Well done. Okay, 2 more exercises and then we're done with round 1. Okay, our next exercise, I'm going to show you the arms separately from the legs. You're going to have those arms out to the side like this, kind of like you're in a pitchfork kind of shape with your upper body. So you have the elbows bent, the fingers pointing up at the ceiling. The upper arms here, they should be parallel to the floor, or relatively parallel to the floor. From here, you're going to reach those arms up to the ceiling as you bring one of your legs forward. And then you're going to bring that same leg back and bring the arms down again. Then again, you're going to reach up to the ceiling as you bring that same leg out to the side and bring it back. Other leg. Reach those arms up as you step forward. Bring it back. Reach those arms up as you step to the side. Bring it back. So it looks like this. Forward, side. Other leg. Forward, side. Forward, side. Okay, now if I turn to the side, I want you to have a look at my arms for a second. So when you're doing this movement here with the arms, can you see that my arms are kind of behind me a little bit? So I'm squeezing my shoulder blades a little bit, so they're slightly behind me or right beside my ears. What I don't want to see is for them to be like this. So I don't want your back to be curved, and I don't want you to move your arms in front. I want you to open that chest and then move the arms up and down. Okay, are we ready? 2 minutes. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. So you're stepping forward, reach those arms up, then step sideways and reach those arms up. So every time your leg moves, you reach your arms up. Making sure we're sitting up nice and tall here with our spine. We don't want to be slouching. Really open up your chest. So our arms are not just dangling in front of us, but we want to make sure that we have those shoulder blades engaged. If this is too fast, don't worry. Slow it down as long as you've got the right movement. But we do want to challenge ourselves a little bit too. So if you're doing it so slow that you don't feel like you're getting much of a workout out of this, you might want to speed it up just a little bit if you can. And if you need a break, that's okay. You can stop, drop those arms, relax for a couple of seconds, and then get right back into it if you can. Well done, everybody. You got a minute left. Making sure you're stepping forward, then to the side with the same leg, and then you switch those legs. Got about 30 seconds left. Open those hands, open those fingers if you can. Remember, you don't have to do the same speed as I'm doing, as long as you keep moving. 15 seconds, almost there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew, okay. You've got one more exercise, and then we're going to do the entire circuit again from the beginning. Okay, so what we're going to do for this one here is we're going to bring our arm and leg on the same side out together, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So that way we're in a big X shape. Can you see that? X shape. So arms up, legs open, and then you're going to bring the arm and leg in on the same side, then the arm and leg in on the other side. So curling into a ball. And then from here, again, we're going to reach out with the arms and legs, out with the arms and legs, then come back in, in. So you're reaching out, out, in, out, out, in. Okay, so you can keep alternating the legs. So you go right, left, and then same thing on the other side. Left, right, left, right. Or if that's too confusing, counting which side you're doing, don't worry, just go out, out, in, and then keep repeating that. So we're aiming for, when you're in that X shape, you really got to step those legs as far away from you as you can and reach those arms as far as you can, opening the chest, opening the palms and the hands as you're doing those movements. Okay, 2 minutes on the clock. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. Make sure you're moving as big as you can. Step those legs out as far as you can. Reach those arms as far away as you can, opening that hand nice and wide. Think about that X shape you want to be in, that letter X, every time you open your arms and legs. Challenge yourself to move even bigger than you think is possible. So if you think you're already moving really big, can you go a little bit more? Opening and then curling in. Opening and then curling in. Well done, everybody. You got 1 minute left. Reach, reach, in. Opening the chest, opening the fingers, stepping out as far as you can. This is the only exercise we're not really keeping our height because we do want to get nice and low when we curl into a ball. 30 seconds left. Almost there. Are we still breathing? Make sure we don't forget to breathe just because we're doing a big movement. 20 seconds. Oh, no, less than that. You got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Awesome job, everybody. Okay, we're gonna do those 5 exercises again from the beginning. So your last round here, and then we're gonna do a cool down. I think I see a question here. Oh, no, it's just Neil saying hi. Hi, Neil. Okay, we're gonna do the exercises from the beginning for our last and final round. So we're going to clasp those hands together, open those legs nice and wide again, so wider than your hip width apart. I don't want to see anybody do this. Open those legs nice and wide, clasp those hands together, straighten those arms, reach them down to the outside of one of your ankles, and then you're going to pull up on a diagonal like so. So notice here that I'm actually drawing a diagonal, right? So I'm going from down to up. So there's a diagonal line that I'm drawing with my fist. And you're stretching your body up. So you do 1 minute, one side, same side for the entire minute. And then I'll tell you to switch, and then we'll do 1 minute on the other side. Now, if you want an added challenge, you can add your leg. So you're reaching down to the ankle, and then from here, as you're pulling up, that leg is going to reach away from you off the ground. So you can either put it on the ground or lift it off the ground. But if you lift it off the ground, you've got to balance a little bit more and not fall off your seat. So that might be a challenge you're looking for. Or if not, place the foot down. So like this. You're reaching on a diagonal, lifting that leg up, coming back down. So hence why having those legs open is a lot easier, because if you have your legs closed, there's really not much room for you to move, whereas if your legs are open, you can reach that leg out more. Okay, 1 minute each side. Are we ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. So I'm doing the balance version. That way, if anybody wants to try it, you can follow along. Or if you don't want to try the balance version, you can just do the arms here. That's fine as well. But emphasize on that diagonal line you're drawing with those fists. So I don't want to see anybody do this in the middle, up and down. You want to make sure you're really twisting on that diagonal, reaching those arms up as high as you can. Well done, everybody. You got 20 seconds left on this side. So we're doing the same side for another 10 seconds. Pulling on that diagonal, reaching up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we switch sides. Other leg. So make sure even if you're just doing the arm version, you're still switching sides, right? You're drawing on the opposite diagonal this time. Really think about twisting that body on the diagonal, reaching those fists up to the ceiling, leaning right over at the top. So notice my body, I'm leaning to the side. Make sure you're doing that there as well. Well done, everyone. You got 30 seconds left. You're almost there. Well done. Almost there. You got 10 seconds left. Keep pulling, keep reaching, keep balancing. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. Okay, you've got 4 exercises left, and then we're done. So you're almost there. Okay, our next one, our hands are going to be in prayer, sticking into our breastbone, elbows out to the side, shoulders down and away from the ears. Legs should be about hip width apart, not together, but not wide. Hip width apart. From here, you're going to open those arms out to the side while stepping to the side and turning your body. Let me move forward a little bit more. Okay, so we're stepping out to the side, twisting our body and our pelvis. You're pivoting toward the side as you're reaching those arms out, and then you're coming back into the prayer position. Same thing, other side. Stepping out and you're pivoting, so you're using your hip and you're pivoting to the side you're stepping to, and then coming back in. So we're not doing this, right? We're not just moving the arms and legs like this, but you're actually pivoting your body to face the side of the room and coming back in. Stepping, pivot to the side and come back in. So again, using your abdominal muscles to help you twist around a little bit more. Okay, 2 minutes. Are we ready? Shoulders away from the ears. That's it. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. Sitting up nice and tall. As we pivot on our seat here, you're imagining that you've got a book balancing on your head and you're keeping it there. Don't let it fall off. So we're not tipping down and we're not leaning back. We're keeping our spine nice and long, and it's just turning on the spot. Our spine is rotating on the spot as we pivot in our seat and move our hips to face the side. Making sure that we're coming back into that prayer position every time, shoulders away from the ears. And then when you're stepping out, you're really reaching those arms out to the side, almost like you're trying to touch the opposite sides of the room. Good, well done, everybody. Keep it going, keep it going. Chest up, pivoting to the side. You got 1 minute left. Remember, if this is too fast, that's okay. Slow it down. Do a speed that works for you as long as you're still doing the movement of the pivot. And if you need a break, that's okay. Have a rest and get right back into it if you can. So remember, we don't want to take ourselves too seriously in the class. We want to make sure we're having fun as well, right? Don't want to scare anybody off from exercising. You're almost there. You got 25 seconds left. See if you've got it in you to push through for the last 20 seconds. 15 seconds left. Almost done, almost done. Keep going. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Well done. Okay, we got 3 more exercises and then we're done. You're almost there. Our next one is going to be our push-pull one. Do you remember this one? So we're pushing those arms out in front of us, opening those fingers, while trying to show me the bottom of your foot. So I don't want to see anyone's legs stay on the floor like this, right? So not on the floor. You want to push it up so you can show me the bottom of your foot, and then you're going to pull it back in. So really think about the effort you're exerting during the push and the pull. So imagine there's a weight you're actually pushing away from you and then pulling towards you. Okay, 2 minutes. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. Nice and sharp with those movements if you can. Remembering to hold this outward position for just a few seconds before you bring the arms and legs back in. Spreading those fingers nice and wide if you can. Straightening that knee. Show me the bottom of your foot. Sitting up nice and tall if you can. Well done, everybody. Remember, if at any point it feels too much, that's okay. Slow it down or have a bit of a rest, but see if you can get right back into it if you can, so we can start to build some of that stamina. Doing good, everyone. Sitting nice and tall over your sit bones. Make sure we're not getting shorter. We're not getting shorter every time we push the arms and that leg out in front. 1 minute left. Try to stay tall if you can. Spread those fingers nice and wide as you push. Show me the bottom of your foot, and then pull everything back in nice and forcefully if you can. Well done. 45 seconds left. Keep sitting nice and tall. Keep breathing. 30 seconds. Well done, everybody. Well done. Making sure we're not leaning on the back of the chair. We want to sit up nice and tall if we can. You're almost there. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, 2 more exercises, and then we're done. You're almost there. Our next one is going to be the one where we have our arms open to the sides. You're opening the chest, bending the elbows, and then you're going to reach the fingertips up to the ceiling as you step forward, and then you bring it back. Reach the fingertips up to the ceiling as you step out with that same leg, and then bring it back. Other side, stepping forward while you reach those fingertips up to the ceiling, bring it back. Same leg, stepping out to the side, reach those fingertips up to the ceiling, and then bring it back. Okay, I think remember this one. So the legs just go forward, side, same leg, and then the other leg. Forward, side. And every time you move those legs, your arms also go up to the ceiling. So you're just stepping forward, side, other leg, forward, side, while the arms reach up. Okay, 2 minutes. So, nice and tall, no slouching, nice and tall, opening that chest. Remember, the arms, they should be open. So we don't want them in front of us like this, right? We want to open the chest and then bring them up and down with the chest open. Okay, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. Up and up. So step forward and side. Making sure you're opening the chest as you're doing this. Make sure the arms are not in front of you. Ideally, you want the arms so far to the side that you can't see them out of your peripheral vision, or you can just about see them out of your peripheral vision. You want to keep that chest open. Sitting up nice and tall. Remember, if this is too fast, don't worry, slow it down. You don't have to match my speed. Do a speed that works for you as long as you're keeping the right technique. Make sure the arms stay up as well. So we don't want the arms to come down by our ribs. but you want to keep them parallel to the floor if you can. I got messed up there as I'm talking. You've got a minute left. You're almost there. Reach those fingertips. Open that hand. So that way you're really aiming to reach those fingertips up as far as you can. You got 30 seconds left. Almost there. Well done. Sitting nice and tall. No leaning. No slouching. Chest open. I know, lots to think about, but you're almost there. Last 20 seconds. See if you can keep going. You're almost there. 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, one last exercise, and then you've got your cool down, and then you're done. It's gone by very fast. Okay, so our last one is going to be our X and our curl. So you probably remember this one. We're going to reach the same arm and leg out as far as we can. Then we're going to reach the arm and leg out on the other side as far as we can. So we form a giant X shape with our body. And then from here, you're going to curl in on one side and curl in on the other side. Same thing again, starting with the opposite side. We go reach into our X. Then we go in, reach, in, reach, in. So when you're doing our reaches, you want to make sure you're stepping out as far as you can. So imagine you're trying to step outside of your chair. So you don't want to just go like this. That's not far enough. Try to step outside of your chair and reach your arms to match the leg. Same with the other side. So almost feels like when you're in the X shape, it kind of feels like you're almost about to do the splits, but not quite. So that's how far you want to open everything. Okay, are we ready? Last 2 minutes and then our cool down, and that's it. You can do it. Last bit. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Out, in, reaching as far as you can, stepping out as far as you can. Making sure you're opening that palm, opening those fingers when you're stepping out and reaching. Everything should be open, nice and wide with those fingers, opening that chest, stepping out beyond your chair. Well done, everybody. I know you're probably tired, but keep going. This is your last exercise, your last one. You can do it. Keep it going. Step out as far as you can. Go slower if you need to, or take a short break and then get right back in if you can. 1 minute left. Last minute. You can do it. Almost there. How far can you reach for the last minute? How far can you step? How wide can you spread those fingers? You're almost there. You've got 45 seconds left, and then you're done. Almost there. Keep reaching. Keep stepping as far as you can, opening your chest. Last 30 seconds. Make it count. See how big you can move for the last bit. Almost done. Hopefully you're still breathing as you're doing the exercise. Don't hold your breath. You got 15 seconds left. Almost there. Well done. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're going to keep those feet flat onto the floor. We're going to sweep both arms down to the floor, cross them, open them up towards the ceiling, and lower them back down. Again, swing those arms down to the floor, cross and open up overhead, stretching that chest. One more. Sweeping those arms to the floor and up and over. We're going to float those arms into a T shape. Turn your arms so your palms are facing forward. And then you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades and pull the arms back behind you a bit more to feel that stretch in your chest. So from the side, it looks like this. Pulling them back even more if you can, stretching that chest. Holding it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop them out. Step one leg out to the side. Make sure you're sitting forward. One leg out to the side. You're going to keep your spine straight. Lean forward so that your chest is going towards that bent leg. And you should feel a stretch on the inner thigh of the straightened leg. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and coming back in. Same thing, other side. Reach the opposite leg out. Sit up nice and tall. Spine long, and then you bend forward at the hips toward your bent leg so you can feel a stretch on the inner thigh for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back up. Still sitting at the front of the chair. Extend one of your legs out in front of you, keeping your spine nice and long, and then you're going to hinge forward from the hips, walking those fingertips down the leg as far as you can to feel a stretch at the back of the thigh, holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and walking those hands back up. Same thing, other side. Reach that leg out in front, straighten the knee. You're going to keep your spine nice and long. Walk those hands forward while keeping the spine nice and long. Reach as far as you can to feel a stretch under the thigh, holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and walking those hands back up. We're going to turn to the side while we're in our chair. So we're turning to the side a bit. So your chair stays where it is, but your body turns to the side for our thigh stretch. The front leg, you're going to bring that knee towards the floor. So you're going to drop that leg down, bringing that knee toward the floor as far as you can. And then you're going to lean back into the chair to stretch the front of that hip for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back up. Same thing, other side, walking yourself over to the other diagonal. Front leg is going to drop towards the floor. So you're getting that knee to point to the floor. And then you're going to lean back and you should feel that stretch on that thigh and holding it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back up. And then from here, we're going to reach those fingertips up to the ceiling as far as you can, stretching your spine up as far as possible. And then we're going to drop the arms down. One more. Reaching up as far as you can. Maybe look up at the ceiling as well. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then we're going to drop those arms. And you are done. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us for our final series or our final class of our seated exercise series. I hope you've enjoyed the last 3 weeks. And we look forward to seeing you guys at our future exercise classes. At the top of the chat box, I do have the website pinned. If you want to click on that link, it'll take you to our future exercise offerings if anybody is interested. If you did have any questions for me, you can either type them in the chat box, or if you like, you can send us an email at info@parkinson.bc.ca, and I will do my best to answer your questions. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope to see you guys later. Hi, Nick. Thanks. Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the sunshine. Bye, Carl.